day. I'll let them actually introduce themselves during their period. I just wanted you to see their face and make them wave. So we have Mats Montoya, so Christian or Mats from Dune, Christian from Snaps, Igor from On This, and then Christopher from the lovely Linea team. So everyone give a big wave. I'm Emily. I do DevRel for Linea, and it is my time to exert my power and then I guess say goodbye to everyone not relevant right now. And feel free to hang out in the background. But for the rest of, I guess, our community, please stay online. Cool. We'll start off with Christopher. Uh, cool. So, I guess people have been
Hey,
really, really excited about the surge and questions and things like that. So I thought it'd be good to bring you on, show your, I guess, expertise in this area. I can ask some kind of pointed questions, or if you just want to dive into like word vomit going down, let me know.
yeah, let me do a little word vomit first, and then you can like distill it down into the questions that you're seeing come up. Um, yeah, I'm rocking a frog pond background created by somebody from the Soul Brandom, actually, out of the eFrog community. So make sure you're tracking him. I think he's going to do a drop on Linea soon. I'm asking him to. Linea Surge, though, that's what I'm actually here to talk about. It's a great DeFi and liquidity incentives program. We actually have the most advanced and innovative model for point rewards for LP providers that exists in the game. And that's something that our partner OpenBlock Labs has been crucial in helping to implement. So in other point-based programs for L2s, such as Blast, they had a very successful point program. They hit 2 billion in TVL, but basically people were just sending their Ethereum and it was getting locked up and there was nothing happening with it. And that's not really like what happens in an organic DeFi ecosystem. So the really exciting thing about the surge is that for DeFi participants, liquidity providers, retail degens, you can just do the things that you love already. And you do them on Linea with our amazing dApps. We've got excellent DEXs, excellent liquidity platforms, restaking, lending, anything that you want to do, it's on Linea. And you will earn LXPL points by doing those things. So it's like, instead of just saying, okay, I'm going to sign my ETH away to some multi-sig wallet for however many months, and then someday I'll be able to get it back, you can actually go and participate in the Linea ecosystem. And one of the other benefits is that you don't have to have your liquidity on Linea for a specific amount of time. The surge runs for 6 volts or 6 months. Basically, each volt is 1 month. And you can take your ETH or your USDC or whatever asset it is that you're using, and you can bridge to Linea, collect LXPL, and then if you're like, I don't really like this, you can just leave Linea. So there's none of this like liquidity is stuck there because of a decision that you made in a moment of FOMO. You can bridge to and from freely, collect as you will. So it is Dodu Tabi. It's going to be live very soon. So keep your eyes tuned. The last thing that I'll mention is that the way LXPL is distributed comes down to like a lot of the time. I think it's going to come down to risk profiles of the different positions that are being taken. So something that's the most safe, if you just have like ETH and wrapped ETH in a liquidity pool, that's a very safe position. And so that will probably have a good LXPL modifier, but it's not going to be something crazy that you'll get on a volatile asset class. And that's one of the big innovations that OpenBlock Labs has delivered for us. Super excited about the surge. I'm a big DeFi user myself. I'm obviously very active in the Linea ecosystem, so I can't wait to collect LXPL. But that's my spiel. Emily, do you have any further questions, or community, do you have questions?
Cool. I mean, I think the first part is, before we dive into, I guess we dived into all the mechanics. I think did we cover like kind of the baseline? I know a lot of people had questions about like why are we even doing this? Some frustrations about like another type of point system. Um, I think Marco talked a little bit about why, the surge was created, but I think it'd be good to rehash.
Mhm. Yeah, let me just take it from the high level then, okay? So, why is liquidity on a network important? So, it's important because it enables financial activity to occur, and the growth of Linea has been tremendous. We have over 350 dApps. We had 1.6 million active addresses in March. But if you want to come bridge to Linea, it's very hard to do it in size. And if you want to swap like a meaningful amount for somebody who's managing finances, right? There's a lot of slippage on Linea. And this is because the TVL is relatively low compared to the robustness of our technology, our partner dApps, and the active user base. So the metaphor that Marco Monaco uses is like this is like adding blood into a beautifully crafted body, and it's going to make it so that the Linea ecosystem can finally be used and enjoyed by all manners of people. So basically, it just creates the ability to really have a thriving DeFi ecosystem, and that DeFi ecosystem is the core liquidity engine that allows people to bridge to and from, to conduct their trading on Linea, etc. So that's why, in the first place, liquidity is so important. And our belief is that bootstrapping this liquidity through a point program is going to lead to the growth of a longer term organic adopted Linea season. Just by having more liquidity, more people doing things, it will actually make it better in the long haul. And this is something we've seen with the voyages, is that there's a very high degree of user stickiness between each one. So as LPs come to Linea and they say that we have a really good network with really cheap fees, and we care a lot about security, and we've got great ecosystem partners and a great user base, we believe that that liquidity will also become sticky into Linea as they realize that this really is a fantastic L2 with a lot of growth potential this year.
Cool. I guess maybe the next thing to step over is just like how to get involved. So I linked our docs here about if you want to read more about what's happening with the surge, and like the point system. Just keep in mind things are always in flux because this is a really exciting and big program. But what else was I going to say? Yeah, I guess Christopher, if you know, like, how do people find out more about the different vaults, what, protocols they should be interacting with, that would be helpful for like an information gathering kind of perspective.
Sure. So all of these things will be published very soon. It's, as Emily's saying, like we cook actively here at Linea, so we will publish things as soon as it's like, okay, 100% we're good to go, and we have the comprehensive list of protocols that will be integrated. You will know as soon as we're ready to commit to that list. So for now, if you want to join the surge, if you're not already, I see a ton of people here who probably are already. Um, Early adopter modifier. Snapshot hasn't been taken yet. If you get the early adopter modifier, then any LXPL you collect in Volt 1 gets a boost. So make sure that you join the early adopter thing. You need a referral link to do that. You can find referral codes in the Linea Discord. You can find them on Twitter. I see them all over the place now. Somebody's actually asking, why do I have to sign up with a referral? I'm happy to join, but not happy using a referral. Referral systems are a way to make it easier for us to help expand this. So it's just part of the program. Like most people like referrals is actually the case. So I'm sorry you don't, but that's the nuts and bolts of the matter. Yeah, so find a referral code, go to referrals.linea.build. I'm actually going to drop a post on Twitter about this like right after this call, and you can get the early adopter modifier. All you need to do is have 0.1 ETH or wrapped ETH in a protocol on Linea. I would say like Renzo or Linex for sure will be included. That's personally where I have my ETH for the early adopter modifier. And then everything else, of course, news to come. Pay attention. and the Surge is coming very soon.
Okay. Awesome. Fantastic. So, I guess this is kind of the sneak peek, or I don't know. It's not even a peek. There's a lot going on. I know there's questions in the chat. Our Discord is always a really great place to continue. I think we are going to have another stream, once everything is wrapped up on the actual day. I think have we publicized the date we're aiming for? Okay,
But
soon.
soon, very
So
soon.
keep
I,
an
I
eye out
feel
on our Twitter, Linea Build. Big Iron Chris is this guy. He's filled with alpha. If you want to learn more about frogs, that's primarily what my Twitter account is dedicated towards. So that's a completely separate issue. But yeah, okay, cool. Thank you so much for joining, Christopher. I do need to kick you off, so we are kind of set with time. But
thanks,
yes,
Emily, and
thank
thanks
you
for the
so much.
audience.
Okay, cool. So next up, we have Christian. I know there's always a lot of questions about like how do I view my LXP? How do I learn about what's happening with all of my kind of points and stuff? And so that's why I have Christian here. Before we start, can you kind of introduce yourself and then we'll walk through maybe a demo of, why I asked you to be here.
Absolutely, sure. So I'm the developer innovation lead at MetaMask, and I worked with a couple of our other colleagues at Consensus to build a really cool snap for Linea Voyagers, and I'm really excited to be sharing it today.
Cool. I guess to set the scene in case people don't know, snaps are
Yes, so snaps are features that you can install into MetaMask. Some of them are built by Consensus, and some of them are built by third-party developers, and they add new functionality to your wallet. So, for example, the Linea Voyager Snap helps you track your Linea Voyage status from inside of MetaMask. There are other snaps that add support for different blockchains or messaging features or security products inside of MetaMask, and you can explore all the available snaps at snaps.metamask.io.
cool. Snaps. I'll put that up as a link. But yeah, I don't know. Do you want to go ahead and I don't know, do you have any visuals?
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen and walk through just a handful of slides. I think I have to do the entire screen. Let's do that. All right. So you can see these slides, correct?
Yeah. Also,
Awesome.
someone asked, "Can we trust you?" And the answer is yes.
Yes,
Always
of
trust
course.
Christian.
I feel trustworthy. Okay, let's go through some slides. So the Linea Voyager Snap, what is it? How to use it? I'm going to have some information for builders who may be interested in building their own snaps and a little bit of coming soon. So first of all, what is the Linea Voyager Snap? So the Linea Voyager Snap makes it easy to track your voyage progress in MetaMask. It allows you to view your Linea XP balance, your proof of humanity status, and the current activations inside the wallet. It works with the MetaMask extension. It works even when you are not on the Linea network. Okay, so even if you're connected to a different network, you can actually view all of this information inside of the Snap. And you can even track an account if you do not have that account in MetaMask. Okay, so maybe you have different MetaMask wallets that you use. Maybe you have a certain account that's not in your current MetaMask wallet, but you can easily just add the public address to track it from inside of MetaMask. And I'll show how to do that. So how to use it. So it's very easy to use. You simply go to this website, voyager-snap.linea.build, and you click Install Snap, and MetaMask will prompt you to install it. Now, the Snap itself doesn't have access to any of your accounts. It doesn't read any of the data from inside your MetaMask wallet. It just performs a very simple function, which I'm going to walk you through. Once you install the Snap from that same website, you can click Connect Account to add the account you use for Linea Voyages, or you can click to watch an address and you can manually enter the public address that you want to use. And then when you have that all set up, you can open the Snap by going to the three-dot menu, which is in the top right corner here, and then click on Snaps and then Linea Voyager, and you'll see a screen just like this where you can view your information. So just a few steps, and then you'll be tracking your Linea Voyage progress from inside of MetaMask. And so the Snap provides some handy links. You can view the current activations. It'll actually show you which ones provide Linea XP. You can click to view your account on LineaScan, so it provides an easy way for you to get to your account on LineaScan. If you have not completed proof of humanity status and it shows a not verified status, it'll also have a link to where you can go do that. And you can explore all the Linea activations with the link at the bottom. So for builders, the Snap is open source. You can actually view the code and fork it at this URL. So it's github.com/consensus/Linea Voyager Snap. And you can also learn how to build your own snaps at metamask.io/snaps. And we offer a builder engagement program that can support you on your journey. I'm going to do a little bit of a live demo here. So I'm going to show you the website. So this is an account that I've already connected. I'm also going to show you what it looks like when you install the Snap for the first time. So this is the website that I mentioned, voyager-snap.linea.build. Like I said, it's just a few quick steps. There's also a video here that shows you how to use the Snap. But I just click Install Snap. MetaMask pops up, asks me if I want to connect to the Snap. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so you can see. Ask me if I want to connect. I click Connect. And then it has a few permissions that it uses. It connects to this website. It uses the Ethereum provider to read from Linea blockchain, displays a custom screen, stores and manage data, pretty straightforward. So I install it, and then it's ready to use. Now it says, thanks for installing the Linea Voyager Snap. Now set your address with the companion site, which is this address, to track your balance. So there's a few ways you can do that. I'm just going to show you how to connect an account in this one. I'm going to connect an account. This account doesn't have anything on it. So then once I open the Snap, now it shows the connected address here. And then when I open the Snap, like this, and then like this, then I'll see this is my account, no balance, proof of humanity status not verified. And like I said, I can click on these URLs to go into these websites. So I can go here to do proof of humanity. Now on another one where I've already set the address, and this is one where I did a watched address. So just to show you what that's like, you click here, MetaMask pops up, asks you to enter an address. Pretty sure this is your address, Emily, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, no.
It's the easiest one I could find, because I
Okay,
needed to
that's
find one that
totally
has
fine.
the
I mean,
balance
it's
and actually has done the
yes.
verification. So yeah, so you've done your steps. This is what it looks like. You see it says verified. I can
Okay.
even click on this activation to go participate. And like I was saying, the Snap is open source. So if you go here, this is what you'll see. There's a few different packages inside. So this is the source code of the Snap. It has some really cool things. Like there's actually different locales, right? So, and some of you may not have noticed this, but because the development team, we speak Spanish and French. So if you change your language to Spanish or French, you'll actually see the whole Snap is actually translated. So now if I go here,
Oh, Christian, I feel like we can't see extension pop-up windows.
you can't see it at all.
No. Yeah, I've been thinking like, what's happening? And like,
Oh, that's
oh,
very
okay.
odd. Okay, I'm gonna do something really quick. You can see this, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's very odd. I've never had that problem before. Did you see when I switched to another browser?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to reshare my screen. Something went wrong when I was sharing my screen. Ah, there we go. This is what I was doing wrong. Okay, so you can see this, right? This is what the Snap looks like inside of MetaMask. I was just mentioning that this shows up in Spanish. I can also show you what I was trying to show you before is when you install the Snap. So that was here. Yeah. So this is what it looks like. And what I was showing was you can actually watch an address. Now you see MetaMask pop up. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. There we go. Okay. So that's what it looks like when you watch an address. And this is what it looks like when you open the Snap and when you go to the menu and then you open it. And this is where you see your status. This is what I was showing before. And you can actually click here. For example, I haven't verified. So now I click here and it takes me to verify. That's what that looks like. Yeah. So as I was saying before, this is the, oh, I'm giving away some alpha here. So this is the website where you can see the repository. You can dig through all the code. You can fork it, make your own, make modifications to it. It's very easy to run it on your computer. You just do a yarn install and yarn start, and it'll walk you through where you can go and play around with it locally. And the last thing I was going to share very quickly was just coming soon. Voyager Snap plus LXPL. That's it. That's the slide. We're going to add tracking LXPL as well to the Snap. it's going to look like this. And so you'll see your LXP balance and your LXPL balance just like this. So that's what we're working on, and we'll have that update available pretty soon. And if you have the snap already installed, you'll just be able to update the snap. And if not, like I said, you can go to that website and install it yourself. And that's what I have to share.
Yay! Okay, so we had questions like, can we see pending LXPs? The answer, I'm assuming, is no, right?
Correct. Right now, it's not possible to see LXP that hasn't been minted yet, so you won't see it until it is minted.
Okay, cool. And then question, how can I see my LXP in my MetaMask? Scroll back and go through exactly what Christian went
So
through.
like I was saying, if you're on the Linea network, right, it's a token, right, that you can see in your token list. And otherwise, so you'll see it here. But by using the snap, you can see it even when you're connected to a different network. So I just click here.
You're not sharing your screen again.
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen, right? Yes.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that. I have to learn how to use this restream. All right. So what I was showing you before was that if you are not connected to Linea, you can use the snap, right? So it actually goes like that, and it'll show you your Linea XP balance right there. Oh, and I have this in Spanish right now.
Yes. Okay, cool. So just to reiterate too, I guess there's a lag, which is why people are asking questions that are redundant. But yes, LXPLs are coming soon. Christian and team made this. I guess we'll post links to all of this again after the end of this video. But yeah, okay, perfect. Wow, we're so on time. I've never done this before. So goodbye, Christian. We're bringing on
Bye.
Igor. So Igor from onthis is kind of, I guess, another continuation of Surge activations. Because I know we specifically can interact with you through like stuff like, I don't know, like Renzo, which I am personally exciting for me, but we'll start from the beginning. Introduce yourself, Igor, and a little bit about onthis.xyz.
Thank you, Emily. Thanks for having me on. So onthis is a no-code tool for building on-chain. Everyone who's listening now, if you're an on-chain user, our mission is to make you an on-chain builder. And we do this by giving you tools that don't require you to be a developer. So anyone that's listening now can go to onthis.xyz and start your journey of becoming a builder. And why that's important is because we believe that the way to bring in the next billion users is to make current on-chain users builders. We all know what an on-chain user is, right? They're super tech savvy, financially savvy. They're super degen, like they click everything, they explore everything, they read everything. And we believe that the power should rest in the hands of on-chain users. And that's what we're giving you with onthis. I have some examples of what the Linea community can already start doing with the onthis tools. But for starters, is there a way for me, I guess, to give some links now? Or
yeah. If you can throw them in the private chat, I can blast them on the actual site as well. Yeah.
So,
and then
that's the general site. I can actually share my screen really quickly to just give you guys an overview of the site.
Yes, that would be amazing. Visual learners.
Cool. All right, so share my window. You guys can see me?
Yes.
So this, this is the landing page onthis.xyz. And as a builder, you just have to either click build, but if you want to learn more and see the examples of how exactly to do that with guidelines and video walkthroughs, you can click on docs. And specifically for Linea on-chain users who want to start their journey to become builders, you would go down to how to build shortcuts. And here, I could share this link. This is a specific documentation. I'll explain what bridging and swapping is, but let me just share this link directly. Christopher previously mentioned that one of the most important things for any new ecosystem is liquidity, getting assets over to a certain ecosystem so there could be deeper liquidity, more DeFi activity. And the way that onthis helps get more liquidity onto Linea is through bridge and swap shortcuts. So before I explain bridge and swap shortcuts, let me take a step back and explain what a shortcut is. A shortcut is just a contract that does multiple actions and helps you get to your end result faster. So as an example, let's say that you wanted to purchase Foxy token and your ETH is living on mainnet. Our tool allows anyone in this chat to create a shortcut and deploy their own contract that when you send ETH to it, it automatically bridges over to Linea and swaps into Foxy. So you don't have to go to a bridging website. You don't have to go to a DEX. You don't have to do anything. The entire experience is abstracted to one action, which is sending ETH. And we believe that this will improve UX for basically every interaction on chain or in crypto. And for you guys, for Linea, because you're building up the ecosystem right now, this is a great opportunity for us to collaborate and work together to create the experiences and better UX for all the on-chain users and the newcomers who are just learning about Linea. I guess I'll take a pause here because that was a lot. So are there any questions on how to use it or even just where to get started, where to find us? Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, I think something I want to talk about specifically, I wanted to call out, which made me really excited about onthis was like one of the examples, right, is you can like use the Renzo shortcut to immediately just get easy ETH, right?
Yes.
Which is a great opportunity for the Surge. Also, for all our sad US citizens here, where Easy ETH is blocked, or sorry, Renzo's blocked, and to get around it, you have to create a VPN. The other way you can get around it is use onthis, right?
Yeah, that was a fortuitous byproduct, not intended. So our shortcuts, our contracts that are deployed by our community and us, you could use them directly in your wallet, in your MetaMask wallet. So you just send ETH to a contract address and it does things for you. You don't have to worry about going to any UI, which removes phishing risk. So you don't get caught up in a bad UI and get your funds drained, which has been one of the most common things happening, even to experienced users. Specifically for Easy ETH and Renzo, we have a collaboration where we built a shortcut for them. It hasn't been announced yet, but it will soon. This is the reason why we do these things, Emily. We alpha drop and alpha drip.
Okay, alpha drip.
But we already have built the shortcut. It's already being tested by the Renzo team. And essentially, if you have ETH on mainnet and you want to participate in the Surge and you want to start earning yield on Linea through Easy ETH right away with one action, but you could do it now you could do it soon by sending ETH to a contract address. We'll have more information. So there's some questions in the chat, but
yeah. Here's a question: how exactly does this reduce phishing scams?
Yeah. So Adrian, great question. So the normal cadence of an on-chain user is you have to visit multiple UIs to get one action done, right? Like I want to start earning yield on Linea. Okay, I have to go to some bridge site. That's one UI that you could potentially have either a fake website via Google Ads or something that you land on that isn't the actual bridging site. And then secondly, you have to go after you bridge the funds, you have to go to a DEX or multiple DEXs, or you have to go to multiple sites to create the LP token. So because you're visiting multiple UIs, obviously if you're careful and you take your time, it's likely that you'll be fine. But a lot of times people do things in haste in the crypto world because there are opportunities everywhere and you want to capture them quickly. So because we allow you to just send ETH to a contract address, and then we return the output token back into your wallet, so it just appears back into your wallet. You never have to leave your wallet. You never have to leave MetaMask. And what's more, Christian Montoya was on, and he was talking about snaps. Some more alpha, since we're here. We've been working with the snaps team to enable an onthis snap, where you'll see when you're interacting with one of our contracts, you'll see exactly what's happening, give you more information on it. And also you'll see that it's verified by onthis, and you have confidence to transact with all of the available contracts that we currently have. And you can find all these contracts if you go to onthis.xyz and you click discover. We probably have 300 plus contracts that are already live and built. So back to Renzo, we're really excited about it. We think it's a great opportunity to showcase this new UX, this new approach to interacting with contracts directly. And we're excited for it. Thumbs up over there.
Amazing. Okay, this is exciting. I'm glad we're allowed to drop alpha legally. I never know what is like public and what isn't. I'm like,
if you do it where you don't think you're supposed to do it, but you do it, and then it happens.
Yeah. This is actually all planned. It's organic. Like, I mean, not inorganic to make it seem like, community calls are more hype than it is. Cool. Some other things I wanted to wrap up because we are at time was number one, we are starting our May dev cook-off. So for those of you who don't know, if you're just building on Linea, you can continue to just like submit every month and let a team know what it is. We specifically want to encourage onthis shortcuts. So as one of the categories, it's like you can build a DApp, you can build a frame, you can build a Dune dashboard. You can also build an onthis shortcut. And we want to award at least one onthis shortcut, a cut of our 1 ETH pool prize every month. So that would be super cool.
I dropped one more link just as the last goodbye. It's our Discord. Any of you guys who are looking to become on-chain builders, join and we'll greet you there and start the conversation.
Yes, absolutely. And I think we have a workshop scheduled actually for May 9th. So if you want to see the actual button steps and live demo of how to actually build your own, Igor will be joining us again. And you better have some new alpha to drop. Because that's your MO now.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Igor. I'm going to push you off and then bring on our next guest, I guess last but not least, certainly the best, Matt's from Dune. So this is super exciting. I feel like it's been a long time coming. So when our team told us like, oh, Dune is around, I'm like, finally, all of my data science friends can be like, hey, Emily, it was when Linea on Dune. And I'm like, okay, well, I have good news for you. But before we dive, I guess let's just dive into why I'm excited, right? So, Mats, please introduce yourself and please introduce Dune for us.
Hey everyone. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Dune. You can find us on dune.com. And if you don't know what Dune is, it's basically, the way I like to think about it is a community of data analysts that produce content for basically any blockchain out there. Linea marks the 30th blockchain on Dune. We're pretty proud of that. And if you go to dune.com, you can basically find dashboards on any protocol application that you might be interested in. In addition, we strive to serve developers with APIs, so to make it easier to build on Linea, basically.
Yeah, awesome. I actually want to talk a little bit about the APIs at the end. Well, I was going to make an announcement specifically about Dune APIs plus Linea. But I think to kind of pull out scope, right? Like for us who aren't data scientists, why is like Dune important for the ecosystem? At whole, and then, that means it's really important for Linea as well, right?
For sure. So Dune as a project came to be back in the days in 2018 when Ethereum was basically the only EVM chain out there, and getting data from it was really difficult. And in particular, getting any sort of like historical or analytical data was impossible. And so people were manually checking Etherscan to count transactions that different applications had. We try to reproduce some of the magical tools that you have in the Web 2 and go one step beyond that by sort of bringing to heart the innate quality of blockchain, which is the data is open on the chain. So we sort of built an analytics tool that's transparent and open. And so why is this important? Well, first of all, you can bring the numbers. So you can produce data or reports or dashboards or products even, and you can trust the data and you can verify it, and everyone can drop into the source code that produce the underlying analysis and know that it's true and real. And I think the most impactful use case that people use Dune for today is really sort of showcasing the integrity of your protocol and that you have usage and that you have the users that you're claiming to have. So something in the mix of like transparency and marketing, so to speak.
Yes, absolutely. I love the marketing aspect of it. And we're like, here's all these sexy numbers about Linea so far. I'm curious, like, what the kind of parameters you guys look at when deciding to integrate a chain.
Yeah. So for the longest time, we were quite selective on integrating chains, and we basically chose to build only on the chains that we that met certain criteria. So developer activity, on-chain activity are the two sort of objective metrics. In addition, like we listened to our community a lot and to our paid customers to what they request. Today we have we're striving to onboard more chains because really that's what our community is asking for a lot, is more coverage. And by adding things like Linea, we can actually paint a much clearer picture of what's going on, and the space is less fragmented as a result. But still, we use these metrics, on-chain activity and sort of developer numbers, to understand what could the impact of like a Linea and Dune integration be. Some people come to us with test nets, and we usually politely decline, just because of the potential impact is limited in that scenario.
Yeah, cool. That makes total sense. Can you give me an example of something cool that Dune has, like a cool Dune dashboard you've seen before, kind of in the history?
Oh yeah, I just came across one today actually. Let me post a link here. So I didn't actually prepare for that one, but I have it here. Recent. This one is pretty cool. So it's a dashboard by a user called Hildobby that basically shows you how different rollups use blobs on Ethereum. And why I think this is particularly cool is because Hildobby, the user in question, updates this dashboard every time a rollup adds support for blobs. So for instance, you can see here the blob usage of Linea, and in the past.
Are you sharing your screen, or should I share my screen?
Whoops, that's a good call out. I'm gonna share my screen here. Getting there.
Cool, perfect.
Yep, awesome. So in this dashboard, you can follow the different rollups and how they produce data to Ethereum. And in this case, we can, for instance, see that Linea in the past 24 hours posts 18 blobs per hour. And the first blob was about a month ago on the 26th. And we can click on through to like a block explorer to see the different blobs. And I think this is pretty cool because I love following the L2 and the L2 landscape and all the work that goes into scaling Ethereum. really fun to watch. And really, one key component of Dune that I maybe didn't say is that all the content on the site is user generated. Dune, like my team, we don't produce any dashboards for public consumptions outside of like data quality stuff. So all the stuff that you will see on Dune or on Twitter or on Farcaster or LinkedIn or wherever you get your data, that will be user generated. So I think that's pretty cool.
Ah, fantastic. I love it when you guys get it's easy. I don't know what I'm going to say. It sounds bad to say getting other people to do the work for you, but I mean, I think it's more so because you have a really good project, so you can take advantage of that.
I like to think of it that we do a lot of work for the user to
yeah,
extract away a lot of the complexities of
Yes.
the data. But sure.
Absolutely. Sorry, I was just trying to make a hot take and it was just painful. Cool. I did want to touch on one last thing. If you could talk a little bit about the Dune API, which is very new. Oh, and then I guess two things. We have a question actually from one of our guests as well. So two things. Please, like, can you maybe a blurb about the Dune API, because we actually are working specifically with you for like a mini hack around it. And then Igor here has a really good question as well. But actually, let's answer my question first.
Okay.
Describe the Dune API. What is it? You hinted at it at the beginning, but like, what does it enable people to do?
Yeah. So the Dune API, in general, lets you take out any data from Dune. Really, that's what it does. So it allows you to write SQL query or reuse SQL queries that some of the users on Dune.com use, and use those in your application to power things like a portfolio view or anything else. You can also use this data in an Excel sheet, download it as CSV, or plug it into an ETL pipeline. It's really unopinionated in that sense. We've also launched recently a set of more opinionated endpoints that basically give you, I'll link to it here, gives you basically predefined endpoints. So currently we have those for Farcaster, for decentralized exchanges, etc. And these are more like the conventional data APIs that will get you data that Dune has an opinion on how it should be formed and how you can use it. So the Farcaster ones has been particularly successful.
Yeah, awesome. So what I was going to say, right, is in May we have our classic, what do you call it, one ETH pool prize, but Dune has so graciously said they're going to offer, I guess, an additional $500 just for people tinkering around. I think the main goal here is break Dune. I think that's my call to action. tell them, hey, your docs suck, everything's broken, fix this, and help them be, I guess, the best user product. What did you say exactly? Work really hard to provide the best experience for the users. Great. So, and then I guess we'll go back to, I guess, to part of that. Igor had his question: how do you create educational content to encourage users to become Dune wizards?
For sure. Yeah, here I just have to not literally, but take my hat off to our amazing DevRel team, who does amazing work in producing both documentation, videos, events like the one we're cooking up in May. So I think they're doing a great job in producing that material. I myself don't have that much detail in how we go about that, but really we try to put ourselves in the shoes of the user, and our DevRel team are users, and we hired them because they are good at Dune and because they're good at talking about how they use Dune.
Yes, awesome. And I believe we are going to host a workshop with one of your DevRel people to talk exactly about Dune in a very easy way. Cool. But I think that's everything I have for you. I know we went 2 minutes over time for your little section, but I'll let you get back to your busy day and life and kind of end on wrap up generally for Linea. So thank you so much for joining. Have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna kick you off here. I guess first question. We did have one. I guess I see Christian. You're still online. If I can pull you up to, they have a question about Linea Voyager. But I guess it's more of like a debugging problem. Feel free to just send them in the correct place if you can't answer it right away. I guess they're having problems with LXP. Do you know, like, what are the necessary steps? Maybe again, checklist.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so the steps are pretty straightforward. You install the snap from the website, and then you connect an account so you can actually view the information inside of MetaMask. So if you connect an account and you're not seeing the balance that you expected, it may be that you've connected the wrong account. And from within the snap, you can click to view your account on Linea Scan so you can verify. If you can see a Linea XP balance on Linea Scan, then you can see it inside the snap. If you're not seeing it on Linea Scan, then you might be looking at the wrong account.
Okay, fantastic. I think that's all the questions we have about Voyager, so I'll just wrap up into the rest of Linea. Thanks again, Christian, for joining. Yeah, I guess last pieces, if you have additional questions that we weren't able to get to in this stream, Discord is always an option. We have an amazing community team ready to answer questions. We have some interesting, I guess, activations coming up once the Surge is fully announced and ready to go. But I want to talk specifically about also our developer activations. So what happened? Right now, we're in the month of April for our April Dev Cook-Off. If you guys are not familiar with it, it is a monthly hackathon that we introduced where it's just 1 ETH for just shipping, right? So if you want to find more information about that, let me share my screen here. You can go to docs.linea.build, head over to developers, and then here we have hackathons. And you can read more about the Linea Dev Cook-Off. Like I said, you can submit whatever. So you can submit a MetaMask snap as well. Please fork the Voyager, I guess, repository, edit it, change it up, and submit as you wish. This month, we have April 2024. Our standard ETH pool prize. We have an additional $1,000 from the eFrog community to build cool eFrog projects. I know, like, after we announced our Dune integration, someone actually immediately went and made an eFrog Dune dashboard, which was amazing. I love to see that type of creativity in building. So the, I guess, submission date for that is actually tomorrow, April 30th by end of day. So if you already have something in, please submit. If not, this happens every month. Wait until May, and then you can kind of apply for everything. So here is this guy. You can just submit your project here, and we'll have all your information. Depending on what you're going to submit, just let us know. What else is happening in May? So what else is happening in May is I think Linea will be sponsoring a few builders nights around the world. So I think Prague and Belgrade. You can find more information about that as it comes out again on our Twitter. I think we are also sponsoring a hackathon that I don't remember the name of. But yeah, that will be happening in May. Again, keep an eye out for that. And I guess the last piece, I didn't mention this specifically, but for our May Dev Cook-Off, which I will post the information on, I guess, on May 1st, right, is again $500 for integrating the Dune API. Secondarily, we're dedicating a prize as well for creating a SIL integration. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. This was a special request from Christopher, and it's like so, like, I'm like, this is amazing. I don't know how many of you guys are like hardcore gamers that came around early on, but this was kind of like one of the first iterations of like RPGs. So if you're interested in like creating integration with Linea, leveraging, SIL, I guess, info. So think like permadeath smart contract ideas. What's something else? I don't know. I can't come up with it off the top of my head. I should have prepared beforehand. That's another option. This is really cool. Let me post the link. I mean, all of this will be in our docs and announcements and everything. Cool. Yes. What do I mean by SIL? SIL is a game. It's just like a really old. If you're a hardcore gamer from like way back when, I don't want to out Christopher's age. He's not way back when, but I hope you guys get what I mean, right? I think one of the cool things about Web3 gaming is people have been able to take like the old games or like previous games and kind of breathe life back into it, right? I think so. One of the ways is thinking about how do I build smart contracts and use on-chain primitives to improve the gaming experience for Sil. Yeah, lore-based RPG is completely text-based, right? That's super, yeah. So I think it is like all the code is public. I think it's not on GitHub though. You just download a zip file. But that's a really cool way to apply for the dev cook-off. I think some really exciting things, right? I think I mean, Neopets isn't public, but if any of you guys were Neopets users, Neopets is actually like on chain now. I met them at, was it NFT NYC like last year or 2 years ago? They were like handing out like, I don't know, NFT like Neopets swag, which is pretty insane. Um, yeah, so I think that's everything I have to say. I don't know how many people are joining like later versus earlier. So I'll just repeat the different ways to track LXP since that question is up. Um, Cool. So, with this regard specifically, if you want to track your LXP that you've collected so far, right, the different ways of doing it is the Voyager Snap that Christian introduced earlier in this call. I believe there's also a Farcaster frame. So, if you guys head over to like Farcaster, usually people use Warpcast on like somewhere embedded in Linea's timeline is actually a way to check LXP balance on your wallet through Farcaster, which is really cool. Um, Linea token LXP is a token itself, so you can find the contract address. I don't have it off the top of my head, but just import the token into your MetaMask wallet, and you'll see that there. And then, yeah, if you guys have questions specifically about LXP-L, which is going to be for the Surge. Oh, Christian, here's the frame if you guys want to use this one. Questions about the Surge event and things like that. Obviously, like things are in flux. I guess what did Christopher say? The way he said it is we are always cooking actively. So the information we have, I guess, so far is circle back at the beginning of this call. Christopher was online to answer some questions. Again, in the Discord, there's some questions. What I can tell you, right, is like information coming very soon. What else is happening? There are like early adopter modifiers, like obviously, like LXP-L, if you're curious, is kind of the next step in the Voyager Snap that Christian mentioned. So please download that if you want more information regarding like I guess get the information once the update is made. So anticipate that. And yeah, I guess I see one of our I guess listeners here is actually submitting for the Dev Cook-Off, which is really exciting. I think I met them in Taipei is what it is. So dude, if you also meet us in a hackathon and then are like, I want to keep building on this, that's part of the inspiration of the cook-off, right? Just continuously build. Don't throw your projects away after a hackathon. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to say for April community call. Excited to see the activations that come in through May. Again, life is always changing day to day. Keep an eye out on our Twitter, our blog, linea.mirror.xyz for the latest information on everything happening. So, yeah. I think there's always lag in this call, so I always end with like a really awkward countdown. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I don't think there's any questions. If there are, again, like I said, head over to our Discord. You can find the Discord on linea.build somewhere. There's like the little Discord icon. Just click on it and join. But yeah, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day, guys. And I guess look forward to end of May, to hear all the latest updates. Oh, and I guess this week, you know what? Never mind. We'll talk about that later. Just follow our Twitter.